Now this is Hollywood Unlocked. Yo, what up, everybody? It's Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored. I'm Jason Lee.
Hey, it's DJ Damage.
All right, Melissa Ford still not here, but we're sending our love to her. And those of you listening to us, hopefully you're listening on iTunes. But if you're not, maybe you're at Google Play or Spotify, or maybe you're just over at YouTube watching us or at our family iHeart's app. But either way, we hope that you're enjoying the show.
Because we everywhere.
And listen, we hope that you're sharing the show too, and continue to rate us 5 stars only because we're 5 stars. All right, so here we are. This is not our tape day, but we thought, hey, what the hell? I think we were supposed to tape yesterday, and we switched it up, and you were doing something, and so thank you for making some time.
Of course, it's doing. As you can see, because this is not our tape day, we got our do-rags on. We kind of just relaxed right now.
Yeah, I couldn't tack the wig down fast enough today, so I said, I'm going to go ahead and just throw this do-rag on. It might come off mid-show if you're watching, but if not, fuck it. It is what it is.
We comfortable.
All right, so a lot of people have been on my Instagram making comments of whether or not I'm losing weight and this and that. And it's so interesting that my weight has been a topic of conversation for so long. I've been shamed many times. But I will say, I have thick skin. It doesn't bother me. I've always been happy with every size from when I was in high school to, recent or whatever. But I will say that over the course of the last few months, I've been dealing with some medical stuff, and I don't come on the show and talk about my personal business like that all the time, but I do want to be transparent with the audience because I am going through a journey that I do want to bring them on. And so, a few months ago, as people know, well, let me just start. A year ago, we started a segment called Get Fit or Die Trying.
We did.
And it was the hardest thing to do. And people were like, oh, we like these workout videos. But to me, the working out had become much harder than it was 3 years ago when I first got on television.
Yeah.
When I first got on Love and Hip Hop, I lost 40 pounds just working out and eating properly. And I think the incentive was I knew I was going to be on TV and there was this new experience that was getting ready to happen. So I was highly motivated to do it. And then as I started going in H&M and just throwing shit on off the rack, I was like, ooh, I ain't got to do this no more because now I lost all the weight. But then over the course of the time, I was wanting to work out and trying different things. If you've watched this show from day one, you've seen me when I've been juicing, you've seen me when I've been eating properly, you've seen me when I've been exercising, but still there was something happening that I didn't know that was going on at the time. And so I partnered with a company called Gentera. And Gentera, they are a company that does stem cell research and micronutrient testing, and they also do IV therapy. And, they're really about helping people to live out their best life, but also to be able to live out their life in quality through science. And so I had been going to them for IV therapy and getting different medicine, different vitamins. And then I had gone to them and did my micronutrient testing. When I did my micronutrient testing, it shows all your markers. It shows your heart. It shows your cholesterol. It shows your it basically shows everything going on in your body, your testosterone.
And I want to take that, by the way, too. I'm very interested.
Yeah. No, I'll link you up with them. They're extremely great people over there. And so Dr. Zagoni, my private doctor over there, did my micronutrient test, and we saw that I was extremely deficient in vitamin D. We saw that I was extremely deficient. My testosterone level was low. We saw that my cardiac markers started to go up into a kind of an interesting area. And then my sugar levels were really high. So I was pre-diabetic. And so even with all of that, I said, I'm still going to try to work hard. Still going to eat better. Started eating better, cut all sugar, haven't drank in 6 months, did all the things that I thought I should do, but still, for whatever reason, the weight wasn't coming down. So every week I try to get a massage. That's my thing to relax and to take care of myself. And my my massage therapist is also a physical therapist. His name is Omar. And Omar said, I think your body has inflammation because I can feel it in your body. And I said, well, what is inflammation? Because I didn't know what inflammation was.
Yeah, what is it?
I still don't really know what it is. I know that it has to do with your blood. I know that has to do with your sugar levels. And I know that if all of that isn't under control, your body starts to become inflamed. So it starts to swell up.
Yeah.
And so he felt the inflammation early on. And so when the whole COVID-19 thing started happening, I started really focusing on vitamins and minerals and supplements. I started taking turmeric because Courtney Watson, who was on my Instagram every day doing
Yeah.
updates, was telling me all these different supplements to take, and one of those being a turmeric. So I started taking turmeric. I started doing all those things. I started drinking teas. I started focusing on gut health with sea moss. I started taking my vitamins. I started taking all these supplements. Still, the weight wasn't coming down. Still, the inflammation was there. So I called my doctor and I'm like, something has to be going on. So she said, well, what else do you think it is? I said, I don't know, but I keep waking up with a headache every day. I'm
Mm.
tired when I wake up. I'm not
Yeah.
motivated now anymore really to work out. It's really hard to do the treadmill. I would do 45 minutes on the treadmill where I would walk 1 minute and run 1 minute
Yeah.
intervals. And even that became so difficult. So she said, well, why don't we do a sleep apnea test? Have you heard of sleep apnea?
Yeah, I have.
So sleep apnea, for those of you that haven't heard, is when people stop breathing while they're sleeping,
Which is scary.
which is scary. And so I said, well, I'll take a sleep apnea test. I don't think I have it. I don't know if I have it, whatever. So I took the sleep test. When you take a sleep test, what you have to do is you have to spend an entire night, whether it's in a sleep lab or in your own home, and you wear this thing on your nose that monitors your breathing. You wear something on your finger to monitor your pulse, and then there were a couple of things I think you wear on your body, and then a strap that helps to to monitor your breathing throughout the night. So I did the sleep test, and when I did the sleep test, when the results came back, I had stopped breathing for 63 seconds during my sleep.
Damn.
And so that to me was like, there was no more, I didn't need another wake up call, because I really believe that when you're I really believe that there are signs, like either whether it's God, universe, whatever it is, like life will send you warning signs. And if you
Hmm.
don't pay attention to them, at some point you're going to be like in a full problem. And I feel like the micronutrient test, where there was the inflammation markers or the cardiac markers that were starting to creep up, the high sugar levels, not diabetic, but right there on the line. And all of those different things were like the signs, but this was the red flag for me. And so a friend of mine in Texas had a surgery, and he had gotten the gastric sleeve. And so he had been telling me, like, hey, you should come and meet my doctor. Like, you could fix all of this right away. You have the resources, you have the time, you have the freedom of, taking your time with this process, blah, blah, blah. And he said, you should meet with him. His name is Dr. Marvin. And Dr. Marvin can, talk to you about getting this procedure done where you get this bariatric surgery where they basically cut out 80% of your stomach.
Ooh.
And so I called my private doctor Zagoni last year. I'm like, hey, so I'm thinking of doing this surgery. What do you think? And she was like, I don't think you need to do that. I think you need to just keep working at it. And damage, I'll be honest with you, it was just too hard. Like, it was just too hard. It wasn't that I didn't even want to work out, because I love going and getting that adrenaline rush, and I love
Yeah.
the environment of being in the gym, but it was literally hard.
But my
And
question is, why did she not want you to do it? What was
I
her
think I
reservation?
think because she believed in me enough that she felt like in all other areas of my micronutrient test that I was healthy enough to do it, that I was young enough, that I was healthy enough. I'm 42, turning 43 next month, and for me, it was like, I said last year, I'll listen to her. I'll try a year. I did try
Hmm.
my hardest. And if you know me, when it comes to business and everything else, like, I don't like to fail, and I don't like to feel like I'm failing, but I was feeling like I was failing myself. And I felt like, and it really felt like there was nothing that I could do. And then, on top of that, the people online were not as friendly, and I will
Hmm.
say, though, people thought I would be mad at them for fat shaming me or for shaming me. I actually wasn't mad, because it pushed the conversation in front of me every day. It kept the
Yeah.
conversation in front of me every day. It was reminding me every day. And people had become so consumed with where my weight was fluctuating when I was losing weight, that I said, okay, I'm going to give myself 1 year. I'm gonna give myself 1 year, and I'm gonna really try to do this. And so everything from dieting to drinking a gallon of water every day to walking on the treadmill, I did all of that. And then COVID happened, and we moved a commercial size fucking treadmill in my house, which was almost shutting down the power because it was so damn powerful. But we did all of that, and still it wasn't happening. And so I decided, once the sleep apnea test came home, and I had to go and buy the machine that you have to use when you have sleep apnea. That basically it's called a CPAP machine. You put it over your nose while you sleep, and if you stop breathing, it basically does a burst of air to keep you breathing. I thought, well, number one, this ain't gonna be sexy if I have a nigga spending the night, so I'm not using a sleep apnea. So I've never used this machine. I have it, but I haven't used it. But I called the doctor immediately the next day after the sleep apnea test, and I said, I stopped breathing for 63 seconds. I don't need to spend another day contemplating whether I want to have this surgery. I want to do the surgery. And he was like, if you're serious, let's do it. I called my cousin Anitra
Mm-hmm.
West, who's a nurse director back in Stockton at St. Joseph's Medical Center. We got on the call with him. We did a full conference call with his team and my cousin. We asked all the questions about anesthesia because I'd never had surgery in my life. I've never been put to sleep. We had the conversation.
And what were some of your biggest concerns about the anesthesia? Because I would imagine a lot of people are interested in getting the gastric sleeve, but
Not
you
waking
know,
up.
you know what I mean?
Not waking up. I mean, because I have anxiety, so I don't know how my heart is going to react to the anxiety of being put to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if my breathing, because my breathing had become really difficult at night, because I had become so anxious with coronavirus and then the Black Lives Matter stuff and everything that was happening on top of the weight and everything else, that like I didn't know if I would stop breathing. And honestly, with the way Michael Jackson died, I was like, yo, I don't want that that MJ shit, And so
No, no.
he was really good at explaining what type of anesthesia they would use, what type of environment the procedure would be done in, what type of support would be there. It's a controlled environment. My cousin felt
Mhm.
really comfortable with him. I had seen his work with my friend David. Shout out to David in Houston. They did I'll do a side by side of what David looked like before here and what he looks like now. But you know, they had done some really good work on a person that I trusted, that I knew, and this is a person that had been coaching me over the year. Of hey, he had lost 140 pounds. He was like,
Damn,
get the
that's
surgery,
serious.
take control of your life. And so I once I had the conversation, we all felt comfortable with it. I did a will, I did a living will for if
Oh,
something
come
was.
on.
Well, I own a media company. I own a major
Did,
property. I can't. I
did you put
can't.
me in there? Did you put me in there a little bit?
I definitely said to make sure you got front row seat at the funeral. Um, but
That's
yes,
fucked up.
but I had to do the will to take care of all of my assets. I had to do a will to how to handle if something was to go wrong medically. And
Mhm.
then me and the team flew to Houston, and I did the surgery. And the surgery was a success. We stayed there for about 8 days in a house. I did nothing but watch everything I could on Netflix, and then
How
we came back.
long was the surgery?
Surgery was an hour. The surgery
Okay,
was the
so not too
hour.
bad.
Surgery was an hour. And the crazy part was, I'm telling you, damage. When my mind is made up, this is made up. So when I got there, they
Mhm.
said, "Do you want us to warn you before we put you to sleep?" I said, "No, just put me to sleep and let's get it done." So right before it was time to roll out, they kept taking my blood pressure to check my heart rate, and so and my pulse and stuff. And so this not I don't know this nurse's name, but he's a Nigerian nurse in that Houston Altus Hospital. He walked in and he took my blood pressure. He goes, "Oh, you have hypertension?" I go, "No, why?" And he goes, "Well, because your heart rate is beating really fast. Your heart rate is fast." And I'm like, "Well, what does this mean, man? Does this mean we about to have a problem? Because you can't tell me this right as we about to go in." So now
Oh,
I feel anxious. So then my
now you
other
anxious, right?
now I'm anxious. Now my other nurse, she's a little Filipino lady. Her name Teresita. So I said, "What's up, Teresita?" She said, "What's up?" I said, I've been watching." She just put my IV in my. She put my IV in my hand, which, by the way, I never even knew you put IVs in hands.
That
But
feels that was that. What did that feel like?
that hurt. That hurt. That shit didn't feel good. So,
Ooh, that just
so
made me.
yeah, she put it, and it was like a big needle too, like all up in the muscle. Yeah, it was not cool.
Jason,
So
damn.
I'm like, Teresita, have you ever seen that show Queen of the South on Netflix? She's like, no. I go, well, the woman's name is Teresita. She goes, well, what does she do? I said, oh, she's a drug pusher and a killer. She said, I'm a drug pusher, but I ain't a killer. She's a short
Hey,
little Filipino lady. So
you was in good hands.
she had me laughing. So then another nurse came in. Her name was Doris. And so Doris is like, she talking to the African nurse about my EKG. And she's like, why is the numbers up high like that? I'm like, Doris, what is the problem? Is there a problem? She's like, well, I'm the nurse that's going to be in the room making sure that nobody doesn't touch you that's not supposed to. And basically, I'll be watching everything and assisting the room. I'm like, okay, cool. So then here comes the anesthesiologist. I don't know this lady's name, but she was so sweet and she was so patient. She could tell I was nervous. And she said, let's talk about your anesthesia. You know, I'll be there. I'm going to be the one monitoring everything. I said, well, I had talked to Sky from Black Ink, who had had so many surgeries. And she said that it is what it is. And she said to me, going under anesthesia was like being on the verge of death. So I'm terrified,
Wow.
right? The lady was like, Sky lied to you. That's not true. It's not
I mean,
that bad.
Sky, I love Sky. She's a little dramatic. A little dramatic.
She basically told me that I would be on the verge of death for an
The
hour.
verge of death.
But she said she couldn't wait to go back and get some more work done. So it was like whatever. So the lady's telling me what she's gonna do, and she says, do you want to be warned? I'm like, no. So she goes, okay, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push a drug in your IV before you go back there, and it's gonna really calm you down. It's gonna calm all your nerves down. I was like, okay. So they all come in, they're like, all right, it's time to roll. And there's like
Hey,
no, that was not the mood. It was a ton of
that's the
people.
celebrate. Hey,
But
it's a
at this point,
party.
like I'm naked with EKG monitors on. I got a fucking stick in my hand.
That's the worst right
I done
there.
paid the deposit, so that's really why I wasn't gonna not do it.
It's like it's
And
happening.
so right as they start to will me, I feel she was behind me. I feel she must have pushed the meds because I literally just laid there like I felt like I had smoked a blunt. I ain't gonna lie.
You just
I
felt
felt good.
good.
I felt good. I was like,
You was on a
okay.
ride from there.
I was on a ride. So I get to the operating room, and there's a team of people in there all ready to go. And so they're like, can you jump over to the operating table? I'm like, yeah, not a problem. So I hop over to the operating table, and as I'm hopping over, they're putting the mask on my face to start breathing in the gas, and I could tell she pushed the drug because I started to fall, like I was falling asleep. So I went to go look for her, but shit, I had passed out. Next thing I do is I woke up.
And it was all done.
And it was all done. And I will say the people at the hospital were extremely great. The nurses were really great. I love how most of them respected my privacy. I know there's one nurse there who's watching the show right now. I forgot her name, but I will say once I came to and she was taking care of me overnight because I had to stay in the hospital, and she was making sure I had my pee cup or whatever. I had to pee. I peed all night long. I don't know why I had to pee so much. But so she takes me for a walk because you have to walk so you don't get blood clots.
Yeah.
So as I'm walking and I'm extremely weak and dizzy and high on these drugs, but I'm walking. I'm the only one walking down this hallway. She says to me, "You know I love you on Wendy, right?" I go,
Oh.
"Oh really?" She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "And are you still letting your barber come to your house and cut your hair with that hazmat suit on?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he still comes to my house and cuts my hair with the hazmat suit on." And she's like, "Okay." She goes, "By the way, God didn't forget about you, baby, because that surgery went well. I read your book. I love your book." And I'm like,
Look at that. Come on, support.
I said, I really love that you love me, and I really love that you love everything I've done. But I don't want to talk to you right now. Like right now, I just had my stomach taken out, and I just want to live. And so she laughed and I laughed, but she took really good care of me. They took really good care of me. And so yeah, so far it's been 15 days. I've lost 30 pounds,
Wow.
and now I'm on the process of recovery. But I went back and forth. My team was whether I should say something or not say something. Of course, my team was like, "Shit, we can get this sponsored. Just tell everybody you took a nap and start eating grass." But most of my team was like, "Nah, be transparent with the audience like you always
Yeah.
are." And
Because
there,
I
so
feel
there
like a
you have
lot
it.
of our supporters and our listeners are probably dealing with that, probably want to lose weight, probably might be inflamed and don't know it. So I feel like this is a lot of good information. Also, there's people that might need this surgery and scared of going through that transition, that process of going into that doctor's office, going under anesthesia. So I was really even interested on what the experience was like. And it's good that you had a good one.
Have you never been put to sleep?
I did when I got my wisdom teeth taken out. But they
Oh,
said they gave me the amount that they give children, and I just knocked right out.
okay, yeah. This is some other shit, man.
All right, y'all, it's time for another Hollywood hookup. So, with everything going on right now, a lot of people are asking, is it even possible to buy life insurance? And the simple answer is yes. It's still easy to shop for life insurance like right now. And if you and your loved ones are depending on your income, you probably should. So, this is what I need everybody to do. Head to policygenius.com. In minutes, you can work out your coverage, the coverage you need, and compare quotes from the top insurers to find the best price for you. Step 2 is to apply for your lowest price. And then the step 3, which is easy, the Policy Genius team will handle all the paperwork and the red tape. It's on them, it's not on you. Policy Genius works for you, not the insurance company. So if you hit any speed bumps during the application process, they will take care of you.
Do it like your life depends on it.
That's right. They even have policies which allow eligible customers to skip the in-person medical exam and do it over the phone. That is clutch. So if you need life insurance, head over to policygenius.com right now to get started, and you can save $1,500 or more a year by comparing quotes on their marketplace. That's Policy Genius. When it comes to insurance, it's nice to get it right.
So get to it.
And that's your Hollywood hookup.
And I'll tell you, those drugs that they give you in the hospital, I know why people are addicted, because
on that drip.
Oh my God. When I had that surgery, and because at first you do have some stomach pain, and then you do feel like irritable. So what happened was they would come in like every so many hours and push this drug called Toradol.
Ooh,
And then I was on morphine. So yeah, I was that
you was
shit
on the good
was
stuff.
that shit was heavy. They even gave me codeine after, and I was sipping that shit. But it wasn't codeine with promethazine.
It's just codeine.
It was just codeine with Tylenol, so I
You can
wasn't
you
leaning.
can get it. You can get it done with that too. Now, my question is, post operation, how are you feeling? What are you eating? What are your restrictions?
Okay, so immediately after the surgery, they didn't tell me when I got the surgery. They did 4 incisions in my body. So I basically, if I take my shirt off, I look like I've been stabbed up, right?
Oh, damn.
But they do 4 incisions. One is for the scope to see inside the body. One is to put a tube in to put gas in your body to blow up the stomach so they can see around all the organs and everything. And then, of course, the others are to go in with the laser and I don't want to say laser, but to go in with the staples and to do all the cutting and stuff that they have to do and to put the sleeve on or whatever. So I would say immediately after, you have to constantly walk, and then you have to breathe in this machine so that way your lungs don't get clotted and your blood doesn't get clotted in your legs. And then they put your legs in these massagers to keep your legs being massaged throughout the whole night. So as you're sleeping, your legs are being massaged too.
That's nice.
I'll say immediately after, you have no real energy. There were a couple of days where my friend would say, you're going to gas out. And I didn't know what gas out means. It's like running out of gas. Literally, like you feel like, okay, I got to go to bed now and lay down. And I would be going to bed at like 5 p.m. and sleeping for 12 hours. And your body's reacting to it. And now my body's going through ketosis, which means it's just burning the fat, because I'm in week 3 now of the process. This is literally yesterday was the end of my 2-week mark. And so now I'm on the 15th day, starting my 3rd week. And
And how
so
many? I'm sorry. How much weight have you burned so far?
30 pounds,
30 pounds. Wow.
15
And
days, which is
that's
insane.
crazy. That's
So
crazy.
this is the best kept secret. If I could find a way to pimp this surgery out, make a dollar. But no, so so immediately I felt like I didn't have the energy, but now I've adapted to it. My wounds are healing. My bandages are off. I feel great. I feel my breathing is better. My energy is. I feel
You feel
great.
good.
It was the right decision for me to make. And another thing that I did think about was, there are some people who have bariatric surgeries because there's different things you could do. There's the sleeve, there's the balloon, there's the bypass. Some people that have had this surgery look like they died and somebody cooked them up and just put them back out on the street. So I was like, yo, I'm too visible of a person to be out here looking like I just died on Melrose, and then they just like fried me up and threw me in West Hollywood. No, no, that ain't doing that. And so I ain't gonna lie, I'm not a person driven by vanity, but I was absolutely like, oh, these motherfuckers can call me fat. They definitely not gonna call me dead for the rest of my life. And so that was another
What,
part of the conversation.
how much weight do you want to lose? Like, what's that target amount? You already burned what you said, 30?
I burned 30.
So how far do you want to go?
Let me do the math because I'm not revealing yet what my
Hey.
weight was. I am going to
Yeah,
reveal.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm taking private photos. This might even play out on OnlyFans. Like, I'm taking photos. I'm weighing in. I'm not playing. Okay, so I've lost 30. Okay, so I want to lose probably another 100 pounds.
Okay. So
But
130 is the goal.
but I want to convert all that into muscle. Like, this is the first time,
Mm-hmm.
going back to your question, damage, which is a great question of how I feel after. I didn't realize the emotional part of this journey.
Mm.
There's an emotional part to the journey because as I'm recovering, I have to pay attention to my body every day. I have to pay attention to how I feel when I eat. I have to look at my wounds. I have to look at my body. I have to look at myself. I have to spend time in the mirror planning out my day and looking at what. So now what's happened is it's shifted from being physical to being emotional, where I've realized that uh, what I wasn't suffering from gaining weight. I was suffering from a lack of self love, and
Okay.
so now that whole examination of how I've put people first, how I've put Hollywood Unlocked first, how I've put my friends first, how I've put meeting a cute guy first, how I've put making money the priority. All of that shit does not matter if you do not have your health.
Mm.
So to people listening, please understand that this is very much not at all about how I want to look in terms of why I decided to do it. It was
Mm-hmm.
more about wanting to be alive and long enough for me and my team and me and my family to benefit from the fruits of all the labor that I've put into building my media company and my brand. And then it became, as I had the surgery, now it's a challenge of how hard I want to love myself, how much I want to own the love for myself. All the times I would come on the show and say, I don't want to be in a relationship. I'm gonna have like 5 niggas, this and that, whatever. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie and say that I don't like the idea of having 5 friends, but to have somebody love you the way that your son loves you, the
Mm-hmm.
way you love your son, to be able to experience the euphoric feeling of love and being loved and accepting love. I've said on this show as a joke that when Tiffany Haddish would start calling me, she would end with "I love you," and I would hang up on her before she could say it. And so I started
Mm.
putting all these things together and had to own the fact that I may not have loved myself enough. So I'm there now, and I'm on this journey of trying to figure that part out. I'm now looking at myself in the mirror and saying, this is what I want my stomach to look like. This is what I want my legs to look like. I called up one of my homeboys. I said, I like your ass. I want my ass to look like your ass. Uh,
Okay. Too much. Too
you know,
much. Too
you
much. Let's
know,
dial it back. Let's
and
dial it
he
back. Let's
and
talk
he
about the biceps.
and he was
Let's dial
like
it back.
I'll work out with you. I was like, yeah, because like I really want to look. I want my ass to look like your ass. So it was a really
Jason,
interesting.
you and your friend doing booty workouts. That's a
It was
funny. That's a
it was
funny idea. That's
only
funny.
only available on my OnlyFans account. But it was like but honestly, like all jokes aside, like I know what I want my ass to look like. I know what I want my ass,
Okay.
my arms, my chest, and so now my full time and investment is in me. And
So
and
you're
I
gonna turn into a full out bodybuilder.
No, because I don't want to like what I look like rolling around in the bed. My muscles so big I can't even hug nobody. Like, nah. I just want my body to be nice and shaped in a way and all one color. I don't care what color it is. I'm just
Oh,
saying
one
all
color.
one color. Side note, one time I tried to go and do a suntan here in Hollywood,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody told me that black people really don't need to suntan, even though I felt like I was pale enough where I needed to suntan. But I did the suntan wrong where I stayed in too long or it was too high. And it had zapped me in a way that my body was itching and it was red.
Yeah, you got a little reaction.
Yeah. So no more
You know,
suntans.
me being a brown skinned brother, you know, I didn't never like getting tans. I try to stay out the sun, but I'm starting to embrace it now. You see how dark I am?
Yeah.
After I came from the island, I'm like, I want to be as dark as possible. I'm kind of feeling that wave, so I understand.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But
I'm
I don't mean to cut you off. My
no, no, go
best
ahead.
friend lost over 100 pounds. This is my best friend. His nickname was Yogi Bear, and he's now on a super fitness journey. And it's just the mindset, you know, you never know what somebody's going through when they're carrying their weight. And like you said, it's bigger than just the love of food. And that's why I feel like everybody else that's on the outside looking in think, oh, you just greedy, you just like to eat, but you don't understand what somebody might be going through emotionally. And, you know, just being there for people like you and my best friend. And he is on a super fitness journey now. And I can see what you're talking about, where you've seen the weight come down, you now want to sculpt the new you, and it's bigger than what I want to look like. It's like, this is what I want to feel like. This is
Yeah.
who I want to represent myself as
Yeah.
now, as this new person.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And when I did my book and the book tour and poured out all that emotion in my book, by the way, God
Yeah,
must have forgot about me. It's still available on Amazon. You should go get it.
I should pick that up.
So when I did the book, that was the part of the emotional part, like crying on TV. I had never thought you'd see me crying on TV. And I honestly didn't try to cry on TV. And I thought that we had gotten so far in the reunion that no tears would come up, and they came up right at the end. And so for me, that emotional journey started early by unpacking some of the weight. I talked about in my book of when my brother Rodney died, me heavily falling into alcoholism, and that starting the process of self-damage and not working on myself and not focusing on that. But I will say, when it got to the point to where no matter what I was doing, no matter what I was trying to do, stopping drinking, eating, I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even eating a lot. I was eating, maybe sometimes I ate too many steaks, or maybe sometimes I ate too many mashed potatoes.
It's the
But
damn ketchup in the steak, Jason.
oh, well, I'm still gonna eat
That's a
ketchup.
weird combo.
I'm still gonna eat the ketchup. But like, it was not even about, I had lost control for real. And so I can say that honestly, wholeheartedly have fallen back in love with myself. And I'm in love with this process. I'm about to
That's a
build
good
out a
feeling.
full gym here at my house to start working out. And I'm not gonna hit the gym with, I gotta go and push 300 pounds, and because I ain't even gonna have the energy for all that when I can start working out. But I can go and jump rope for 3 minutes, 2 3 minute
Mm-hmm.
intervals. I can go and do 500 crunches on a ball, or use a weight ball, or use some dumbbells, or there are things that I can do that I'm going to do. And so I just appreciate all of the show for tolerating my up and down with it, my all the remedies I was going to try. And also to the audience who's been hard on me, I'm not mad at you, because you kept a conversation that I needed to hear in front of me every day. And I did what all of us can do if we have the means. And if we don't have the means, we should search the means to take full control of our lives. Because, I have said, I feel like we're in the middle of a spiritual warfare right now, anyway, with the world, on top of all that, compounding whatever personal struggles we're going through. And weight and our health should not even be an issue when there are opportunities out there for us to tap into to take control of ourselves. And I've been looking at you, Damage, on your Instagram. If people aren't following Damage on Instagram, you should go and check it out. You're working out every day. Your
I got
content,
to
of
get back.
course, your content is great. Get back from what, Damage?
Jason, you don't know, man. You don't know what I'm going through. It's
Damage,
it's
get
a
back from what? You
emotionally, Jason. You
Damage,
don't get it.
Damage. I want to support you, but now here's what I'm gonna call bullshit. All I hear from the female fans in some of our gay community, I love Damage. Damage is sexy. Damage is this and that. But again, maybe your journey is not just about how you look. Maybe it's about how you feel. So
Hey, look, Jason, I hit the 30 mark, and the weight sit at the stomach. It sits at the stomach. I don't have you be talking about this six pack that you mislead the listeners and let them think I do not have a six pack, but I'm working my way towards it. And if you building that gym at your spot, I'm gonna be over there and we're
yeah.
gonna put that work in.
Absolutely, you come over anytime. And so, also, if you're watching the show on YouTube and you see these lights right here,
Tell them what it is.
it's the sun from beyond the camera, but I say it's the angels that God has sent to watch over my newly reformed body.
He has
And
an angelic backpack.
God gave me the vision of doing this whole thing on OnlyFans. Those of you who think that God is not endorsing OnlyFans, God sent us a method to make money amidst a pandemic. So while the world is falling apart and you can't go to your job, you could sit at home and bust it open and get a check.
Jason, that's what you're gonna be doing on OnlyFans? You're gonna
I
be
ain't busting nothing open.
busting it open?
I'm not busting nothing. I don't think anybody wants to see me bust it open, but I will say when my body, whether it's a year and a half, when I get to where I want to be, and I update my tattoos, and I put another one over here, and I do all of that,
Y'all not gonna be ready for new Jason.
there will be a fully nude shoot shot somewhere, somehow, and online. Now it will be tastefully nude because I'm gonna definitely always save my penis for the people who get invited over. But in terms of my body, I will be showing it off. Yes.
This is hilarious. Well, Jason, I'm proud of you. A lot of people, of course, they're watching you through this platform here, but they don't get to actually see you in person. And I have, and the weight is really just shedding off, and it's crazy. But I'm proud of you, man. That's a big step, and man, more power to you.
Thank you. Thank you. So I wanted to do this show to be fully transparent on one hand, to inspire people to take control of their own lives. And also because I don't need y'all coming up with no conspiracy theories about why all this weight is falling off. Because they're talking about 70 pounds will fall off in 2 months. I'm like, oh, not in my community. My community ain't about to be out here saying that I went to the Dominican Republic and caught the sniffles. No, you're not. So there you go. All right. So, on our last show, Damage, we forgot to discuss Tamar Braxton.
Yeah, that was very sad.
Sending love to Tamar Braxton. Tamar Braxton had recently, there's been a lot going on online where they said that she allegedly tried to kill herself. And then her boyfriend has now released statements. And there's all these weird anonymous sources spilling all her personal tea. And that's kind of weird.
That seemed like it's part of the problem.
Right. And so I didn't understand what was happening. I have since texted Tamar. Tamar said that she was going to check out the hospital and that she was going to go to treatment for mental health treatment. And so I don't want to speculate anymore on what's happening with her, but I will say, we send our love to her. And but all this anonymous sources around her dropping tea and hints and this and this and that is kind of suspicious. And the other thing I will say is the 911 call. If you haven't heard the 911 call from her boyfriend, we're gonna just drop it right here and then we'll come right back.
And what's the emergency?
My girlfriend is not responding.
Are you with her right now?
Yes.
How old is she?
She's not awake.
Okay, can you wake her up? Can you shake her and yell at her? Try to wake her up.
I'm shaking. She has a little bit of her eye open.
All right, sir. Like I said, we're on the way. I'm going to stay on the line with you.
Okay, she's been drinking. It's like a half a bottle. She's on medication for depression. I don't know how much. She sent a letter earlier. Anyway, just ask him to hurry.
I'm sorry, sir. You said she's on.
Just ask him to hurry. She's on medication. She takes medication, like she gets anxiety. I don't know if she's taking her medication or what. Or if she was very angry earlier on. She has trouble with the network. She's just a company she's working with, and they did some things today, and no way. I hope this is not.
Okay. Yeah, when they're inside of the same room that you're in, you and I can disconnect. But until then, we have to keep our eye on her breathing, okay? Okay, sir.
You fucking network.
Sir. Well, she needs some help, sir. You guys should look for some help for her.
And it's come to this.
Right.
When do you get free? At what point are you really free? At what point a company, kind of an organization control your.
How long has she been working for them?
They've taken away her happiness, everything. She held by everything.
All right, so to me, I'll just say this, and everybody knows I like Tamar. It sounds suspicious. The phone call sounds suspicious. And I'm not saying at all, and nor would I ever downplay any cry for help or somebody who's going through a situation that is suicidal. But I would say that boyfriend's energy to me, and I'm an energy person, seems a little sketchy. And
Seems a little off.
I'm Team Tamar. I'm not Team David. I don't know him. I don't hate him. I don't know him. I'm Team Tamar. And so I'm always ride for whatever's best for Tamar and tell her that because she's so sweet and she really does behind the scenes check up on me and check up on everything going on. And anytime there's anything going on where there's some drama, she is trying to be like peacemaker to help make things better. So I'm not going to shit on her man at all. But I will say, to me, if I found somebody dying, I would be a little more emotional or shocked or whatever. And to me, that whole call just didn't sound right to me. So I would love to talk to Tamar. She did text me that she was going to get help. And I told her I'm here for her if she needs anything. And so when she's better, come on the show.
Come on through, Tamar. We got your back, for real.
All right. So Kim Kardashian was in the news. Kanye had tweeted that she had a private meeting with Meek Mill. Did you read that?
Why did Kanye put Meek in the middle of this? Like, what did Meek have to do with any of this stuff? Yeah, so Kanye, of course, he went on his crazy Twitter rant a few days back about his personal life, revealing that he was trying to get a divorce with his wife, Kim Kardashian, because she met up with Meek Mill, who's from my city, at the Waldorf. Am I saying that right? Because I only been there once.
The Waldorf, yep.
The Waldorf, to discuss prison reform. So I guess according to Kanye, that's not something a married woman should do. What you think about that?
I mean, Kim is serious. First of all, let me preface everything by saying no matter what I say about the Kardashians, they believe I'm on the payroll, so it doesn't matter. I will say that I have a cousin in prison that I've talked about on this show that is in prison in Kansas facing 8 years for 1 pound of marijuana. I talked about it numerous times, and I've reached out to Kim for help, and Kim has helped me and is helping me. So I know how serious she is about prison reform, and I know that she works with Van Jones from CNN, who I've also spoken to, who is a part of an organization called Reform. Meek Mill is also a part of Reform. Van Jones and Meek Mill are both managed by Jay-Z's Rock Nation group. And so I could see her meeting with him about it. And so when all the speculation came online with this is why Kanye's trying to get a divorce because she slept with Meek Mill, again, I find it ironic that mostly women were bashing her, but now a photo has come out and here's the photo. And the photo is of Kim having a meeting with him and another woman, clearly that looks like a woman about business. And so there you go. So like, what do you think?
I just think it's wild that your husband, out of all people, it wasn't like somebody was there and tried to make some fake news up. It's like your husband did that. So I don't know really how she's supposed to take that. I think that's really weird to throw Meek in that situation because he has nothing to do with Kanye and Kim Kardashian. And like you said, there was another person there. It was like 3 people. And they said they have footage of her leaving alone. And I think they also said it wasn't even at the Waldorf. Like he just made that up.
Well, it did look like it was at the Waldorf because the rooftop, it did look like it. But, regardless of where it was, if that camera wasn't there, people would still believe that Kim was there trying to fuck Meek. Meek had also went on his Instagram and posted all cap, shooting it down. And so here we are. Kim Kardashian did not try to sleep with Meek Mill.
Yeah, I noticed it's a thing online to tear down Kim Kardashian. And, a lot of women have their own reasons or whatever. But at the end of the day, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. She didn't meet up with Meek one-on-one. I don't think it's right for Kanye to do that to his wife. That's just where I stand, period.
Yeah, I agree. All right, but I will say that from what I heard, the word on the street is that Kim is looking into getting a divorce. And so she is meeting with divorce attorneys and trying to figure out how to get away from Kanye.
Jesus. What's good, y'all? It's time for another Hollywood hookup. Now, support for Hollywood Unlocked come from Lord Jones, makers of the world's finest CBD products. Now, CBD is all the rage these days, but pioneering brand Lord Jones is considered the gold standard. For years, they've been changing people's lives with their premium CBD products. Lord Jones has long been a favorite among celebrities worldwide, showing up in Instagram feeds of Hollywood's biggest names. And now they're inviting you to the experience.
Who,
the
me?
finest CBD, you to experience
Okay.
the finest CBD products available, from world-class skincares to tinctures and gel capsules to decadent gumdrop confections. If you're curious about what CBD can do for you, trust me, you want to start with the best. Lord Jones is crafted with the highest quality ingredients and premium derived CBD that's lab tested for purity, strength, and consistency. Go to lordjones.com/unlock for 25% off your first order. Go to
25%? 25%?
That's right. Let me say it again in case they didn't catch it. Go to lordjones.com/unlock for 25% off your first order. lordjones.com/unlock. And that's your Hollywood hookup.
And that's a deal. Megan Thee Stallion is back in the news. Now, before we get into this story, there has been an update. As you know, we talked about what was going on with Megan and Tory in our last show.
Yeah.
And so Adam22 from No Jumper recently went on his show and broke down the tea of what he heard. And I'm kind of mad because he spilled the tea before I could, because I got the same tea. And this is what he said.
So what I'm hearing, my version that I've heard from various people that have basically then been
Trusted
filtered
sources?
through AD, yes, very trusted sources, is that Megan and Tory have been fucking. They've been chilling. They go to this house party. Kylie Jenner is there. I heard, depending on who you want to ask, that either Tory was showing too much attention to Kylie Jenner or Kylie Jenner was showing too much attention to Tory. Either way, Meg did not appreciate it. Meg, maybe at this point in her career, has a little bit of an ego. She's feeling
sure.
herself. She doesn't feel like she has to deal with any disrespect. I
felt
heard
that.
Meg was violating his ass, that they got into a fight that was like bad, and I heard that she was like really shitting on him, like really, like
I could see her doing that.
disrespecting the fuck. Obviously this doesn't justify
No,
anything
none
he
of
did.
that. No.
But that's what I heard, is that it was bad, like the altercation that they were in, and like the level of violation that he maybe was feeling. Obviously not a reason for any violence to occur, never mind a gunshot, but
Never mind a gunshot, yeah.
that's what we heard.
Okay, now that was some of the tea. And Adam22, you do a good job over there at No Jumper, but you know, when it comes to tea spilling, that's my job at Hollywood Unlocked. So I'm going to break down to you what actually happened, because I've since talked to people close to Megan. Now, what happened was Megan and Kylie were hanging out, and then Tory joined them. They went back to Kylie's house, and Kylie was going to let Tory and Megan stay at her house. So she had a room for them where she was going to let them stay. Megan got sloppy, uncontrollably, have never seen this before style drunk. This is what her own people are saying. She got really, really drunk, and she saw Tory flirting with Kylie and believed Kylie was flirting back with Tory.
Oh, shit.
So then they got to argue, and it became a really crazy argument, and Kylie asked them to leave her house. When they left the house and got in the car, the fighting ensued, the arguing ensued. Remember at the last show I said Megan didn't bring her security because she was on personal time. Now people have put the story together that Megan and Tory had some kind of sexual relationship going on, and that they had been hanging out, which to me is kind of odd anyway, but whatever. You can't control who you grow fond to. And then in the midst of this arguing in the car, she began to hit him, and then he pulled out a gun to shoot around, like just to shoot on the ground, and accidentally shot her. Now
Wait, he pulled it out just to shoot around Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, like
he just wanted to shoot around.
Listen, that's what the report is saying. Now, look, I don't even want to say he accidentally shot her. That's an alleged thing, because who knows? Maybe he was getting beat up and he shot her. I've been in a place hanging on the block where my girl Naya, we used to call her Black. I'm not a colorist. I'm just telling you what we used to call her. We used to call her Black, and Naya.
Used to call her Black, huh?
That's what she used to call herself. Okay, I think her cousin's name was Shitty, and her sister's name was Baby B. So you could talk to them on their names.
Black,
okay?
Shitty, and Baby B. What's up,
okay.
y'all?
So no, Baby Beast.
Oh, okay.
She was a beast because they was beating motherfuckers down, including men. Well, Nia had beat up this guy to the point where he pulled out his gun and shot her twice because he was getting his ass beat. So
Well,
I don't know,
Megan does tower Tory.
like
It is
times
very
two.
much of a disadvantage weight and height wise.
Yeah, for sure. And so maybe he pulled the pistol out to get her off him. I don't know, but he shot her, and I just can't even believe that Meg Thee Stallion has even gotten shot, but let alone
That's
got
crazy.
shot by Tory Lanez. So that's the full tea on what happened. But now
Woo!
Megan's beefing with somebody else now.
Yeah, so Drea, of course, she didn't know the tea that went down like that, but Drea went on her podcast. She was a guest on the Weed and Wine podcast, and she was talking about the kind of love she likes. So she said, I predict that they had some sort of Bobby and Whitney love like that, when she's talking about Meg and Tory. Drove them down this Snap S type of road. I'm here for it. I like that. I want you to like me so much that you'll shoot me in the foot too. Now, Megan caught wind of all this and tweeted back at Drea, said, dumb bitch, that shit ain't fucking funny. Who the fuck jokes about getting shot by a nigga? Now, Drea, of course, apologized. Said, I truly don't glorify domestic violence. I was trying to say just love me deeply. But while I was trying to be funny, I offended many, including Meg, and I'm sorry.
That's
And of
some
course, the internet
bullshit.
dragged the shit out of her.
That's some bullshit. Let me just say this. This is why all you motherfuckers out there, all you weak motherfuckers trying to come up with podcasts and talk on podcasts and give your opinion. When you do this type of work, you got to be willing to risk it all, lose it all, win it all. Because when you give your opinion and you say some way out crazy shit, like you want somebody who loves you so much they shoot you, you dumbass, then guess what? Motherfuckers is gonna come for you. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion who broke her silence, checking her ass, because you know what? I love that side of Meg, and that's probably the side
That is Meg, probably. Most likely that's Meg.
and that's probably the drunk Meg that beat up poor Tory Lanez. Not that he's poor Tory Lanez. Tory, you're still whack for shooting Meg. I don't know what to
Tory,
say.
you whack as shit for having a gun and waving it at a woman.
And Kylie Jenner said, all you niggas get up out of my house with this stupid shit. Don't you bring this shit to Hidden Hills. We don't do this up here.
You better hope she ain't say niggas.
I'm sure privately.
You better hope she ain't say that.
I'm sure privately Kylie is saying niggas. And so she kicked them out of Calabasas, and then they're now put on the don't let past the gate list. And Tory's probably going to get sent back to his country. You know, he's not American; he's Canadian.
Absolutely. So if Tory was to break his silence and say, "Yeah, I was being attacked by Meg, and I shot her in self-defense," how do you think people would feel about that?
I'm gonna make a joke. I'm gonna make a joke of it because you can't let your little man syndrome drive you to the brink of killing off, Rap Houston's finest.
If it wasn't Rap Houston finest, it could be one of his little hoes on the side. You can't shoot girls, bro. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, a girl killed my brother, so let me just tell you, had I had a gun that night, I popped a couple in her ass too, and I wouldn't be sitting here right now. So there's a difference.
Jason, that's a completely different situation.
I know. You can't get into an argument. Listen, you get into an argument with your girl, and you go to check her, and she beats your ass. You take that L, and you go to work the next day and say you got robbed at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, that's what you do.
You come up with an excuse. You went to go buy a condom, and somebody was there to buy a condom, and there was only one condom left. And so instead of rapping about it, rapping, y'all just beat each other's ass, and then the condom busted, and nobody got it. Whatever. Side note, I helped somebody pay for a Plan B yesterday. You shouldn't be out here fucking.
You giving. You're a giver.
If you need help to pay for your Plan B. Anyway.
But I will say this. Outside of Megan and Tory, because at the end of the day, we don't know the real story yet. Ladies, in these domestic situations, please don't put your hand on men. If you don't want men to put their hands or their guns on you, like I said, this is outside Megan Thee Stallion, Tory. I don't really know what happened. We hear hearsay, but overall, this is a big problem where women are beating up on men and then crying wolf when they get their ass beat back. If you want to get hit, don't hit nobody. Lead with love, for real.
Yeah. You said it was a big problem. Is that what shot at Tory Lanez? I couldn't help myself, right? So I'm writing to iHeart. We had posted the story, the drama with Megan, Drea on Instagram, on Hollywood Unlocked Instagram. And then my phone rings and it's Ryan Henry from Black Ink Crew, and he says, "Man, I saw y'all post that shit about Drea. Don't put me in it, dog." I said, "How you was in my mind? You was in my head because
Shout out to Ryan.
I was literally saying when I get to iHeart, I'm gonna throw Ryan under the bus because him and Drea had slid in his DM or something. They was trying to talk, and he had called me about her and said, "What you think?" And I said, "No, some hoes is for the streets, and this is not the type of woman that you should bring around your children because I know how much of a father, an involved father he is. We all know Drea's had issues where she gave her kid, abandoned her kid or whatever." And she got her kid back and has turned her whole life around, through Mint Swim and her business endeavors. And she's dug herself out of the whole hell that she was in. I don't know the whole hell that she was in at the time. And I know that she thought she deleted her wholeness when she came up a little bit and whatever, but not to trivialize her journey because my mom had a similar one. She, wanted to get with Ryan. And I just told Ryan, like, she's not the type of girl that I see you with. And so he dodged. So when he called me, I said, it's so funny because I'm throwing you under the bus. So I went to Instagram and I posted a video saying, "Oh, Ryan, you dodged the bullet." So I spilled Ryan's tea. He wasn't happy, but
Look, we all got the right to grow from what we were to who we are. Shout out to Drea, man. She came a long way. And like you said, you bigged her up a lot. She has a lot going on. She is a mother. Shout out to Drea. She's working hard.
All right. So look, there's a lot going on in Canada. Did you see what's happening in Canada?
Yeah. So, Canada's trying to be on the verge, or they're just trying to be in front of protecting everybody from the coronavirus. And I'm not mad at them.
And they're being creative.
They are being creative. So the CDC out there suggests glory holes for safe sex during the corona pandemic. Now, you might be asking yourself, what is a glory hole? Or you might be asking yourself, are you talking about the same glory hole I watch on Pornhub?
Right.
Yes,
and that's why you have me here. I am a glory hole expert. Okay. I saw my first glory hole.
Shut up. Shut up.
I saw my first glory hole in San Francisco when my friend, and I'm going to throw his name under the bus, Jermaine Fox, said that he wanted me to go with him to a club. And I said, okay, cool, I'll go with you to a club. And he took me to a club called Power Exchange in San Francisco. And I thought Power Exchange, must be a meeting of the minds, where business people come together to, exchange powerful thoughts,
they exchange something.
San Francisco's close to Silicon Valley. I'm thinking Silicon Valley. I should have knew. Silicon. Power Exchange. So when you get to the door, they say, "Would you like to pay the entry fee for being clothed or for taking all your clothes off?" I said, "The fuck you talking about?" I looked at Jermaine, I go, "The fuck is this?" So he takes me in. They got TPs and shit. They got prison cells. They got a living room with a bunch of people in there masturbating, watching TV, and a maze where people are just having sex with me. But anyway, it's literally like hell. It's hell. It's the Power Exchange. That's where you're going in there. But anyway, he took me to a room. That was the glory hole room. And it was literally a big wall of holes and a bunch of dicks hanging out. And I'm like, this is insane.
That's a lot. But, according to the CDC, they're trying to have people still have fun, but use barriers like walls, glory holes, to allow that sexual contact, but prevent that face-to-face contact. So they want you to have some fun out there in Canada, but not all the way. So
do you know how traumatizing it is when you turn the corner and there's a bunch of holes with just random dicks hanging out? In all my glory.
Yes.
In all my glory. No pun intended. I have seen a lot of things. On this show, I've talked about a lot of things. Damage, it was frightening.
That's something I don't want to see. But I do like the CDC's idea. So I think after this, I'm going to go to Home Depot, get me some drywall. I'm trying to get more creative in my...
No, you're not.
I want to get more creative in my space.
Damage. I'm telling you right now, if you go to Home Depot and get drywall and build your own glory hole so you can go fuck somebody, you're going to end up on Hollywood Unlocked. Because a female is going to tell the story. You're going to end up on Hollywood Unlocked.
Look, my chick might like that. She might come in a little venturous. It's like, where is he at? I'm behind this new plastic drywall and then just letting loose through the hole. Like, come on, baby, we here.
To any female that does this with Damage, please film it so we can air it on Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored.
And I would never know if she's filming it. It's so much mystery. Mystique.
But isn't this advanced that the CDC is thinking about our sexual wellness while we're in the midst of a pandemic? Like, we don't want you to not fuck. We want you to go to Walmart and get you a plywood and put a hole in it. Make sure you lube the hole up so there's no friction, but
no splinters.
No splinters. God forbid you go to the ER, you got splinters in your dick because you done played around with a glory hole during a pandemic that you should have even been playing around with anyway. You should have just went to the power exchange. If
this pandemic lasts too long, people gonna start making glory holes at their front door.
I tell you one thing: if anybody come to my house and you just see a random hole in the wall, that's the glory hole. All right, if you don't know what time it is, it's time for your Hollywood hookup.
Let's go.
So listen, with the COVID-19 happening and all the restaurants in LA shut down, I did not skip a beat because I'm still getting my favorite meals. And although I'm eating a lot leaner these days, I'm getting them through my friends at Postmates. And also, because I don't come in contact with anybody, I love that they've been dropping it at my door. But anyway, I've been using Postmates, and it's been keeping me afloat. If you're like me, you probably start thinking about what you're going to eat for dinner while you're eating lunch. And I love food. I love food, even though I'm slimming down. I love it. That's why I love using Postmates. But I kind of love them even more right now because, like I said, I can get the food delivered without even leaving my house or even opening the door. Like, they just drop it right off. Given what's going on in the world, they created this no-contact delivery system. And so now when I order food from local restaurants or even the grocery store, everything gets left right outside my door.
Now, that's essential.
They also have Postmates Pickup, which I have been using to order my takeout for my favorite local restaurants. One of them right here, Avra in Beverly Hills, to get my little brands, listen up. You guys need to be supporting your neighborhood spots right now because everybody's affected. And I've only been ordering local because it's a great way to support our community, and Postmates makes that happen. Postmates also doesn't just deliver burgers and sushi. They actually make my life easier by picking up everything I need from Walgreens and 7-Eleven. Real tea. When I need my Gillette razors or I want a bag of Doritos, which I can't eat right now, but when I was eating them, they would go there and pick them up for me and leave everything right outside my door. So listen, all you have to do is just download Postmates on iOS or Android, find your favorites, and get anything and everything you want delivered within the hour. So check this out. For a limited time, Postmates is giving our listeners $100 of free delivery credit for your first 7 days. So to start your free deliveries, download the app and use the code UNLOCKED. That code is UNLOCKED for $100 of free delivery credit for your first 7 days when you download the Postmate app.
I'm hungry.
Anything you need, anytime you need it, Postmate it.
And that's your Hollywood hookup.
Sure is. All right, so listen, one thing on the way out. Breonna Taylor's name has not been kept in the media the way that it should. Shout out to Tina Knowles Lawson, Beyonce's mother, who's at the forefront of the fight, keeping her name alive, and other people who are doing it. A petition just on change.org just drew in the second highest ever with over 10 million signatures. Please go and sign it. Amazing. I've signed it, and everybody should sign this petition because this woman died in her own home by the hands of police, and all these police officers have yet to be charged, and a lot of them still have their jobs.
A lot of them just walking around at grocery stores picking up fucking ice cream.
Yeah. So shout out to everybody keeping her name alive and the Black Lives Matter movement, man. We over here still represent and will continue to represent and hold it down. Until then, we out of here. Peace.
Peace.
What up, YouTube? Thank you for watching this reckless show.
Yeah, and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell.
And also don't forget to share and leave a comment because we are reading.